Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Bhagavat, 9th chapter, 241st verse. So the importance of devotees has been spoken very nicely. How the pure Vaishnavas, pure devotees, their position is more than even Ganga, because they can sanctify the place. Vishaya Madanda Saba Kichui na jane, Vidya Made Dhana Made Vaishnavana Chine. The people who are blinded with pride over material enjoyment do not know anything. They recognize a Vaishnava due to pride born of education and wealth. Through material knowledge, one cannot understand the teachings of the Vedas. Those who employ the four Vedas, Sama, Yajura, and Atharva, the literatures in pursuance of the Vedas, the Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, and the six corollaries headed by Shiksha, Vyakarana, that always come, Nirukti, Chandaha. Then you have Jyotisha. So all the six corollaries comes. In the pursuit of their worldly enjoyment are certainly partial to the cultivation of material knowledge under the shelter of Agnya Rudhi, the conventional meaning of the words according to unenlightened persons. If you see Bhaja Govindam also, there also very clearly it has been said that by your Vyakarana, by your expertise in Vyakarana, or maybe the six corollaries is that only. Vyakarana, Chanda, Nirukti, Jyotisha. You may be very expert in all these things, but that has nothing to do with devotional service. You may have, you can use it in Krishna service. If you don't have also, it doesn't matter. If you're uneducated also, it doesn't matter. One has to serve Krishna. The position of Vaishnava is far beyond the knowledge, the cultivation of material knowledge. The conventional means of words according to unenlightened persons, and those who, as servants of spiritual knowledge, are freed from the clutches of material knowledge and who follow Vidavad Rudhi, they are not covered by the pride of knowledge. People whose hearts are full of anxieties for achieving mystic perfections like anima are like paupers who are proud of their pennies. One can achieve sensual happiness in exchange of wealth, but the senses are temporary and unable to fully reciprocate. That is why Vaishnavas who are engaged in devotional service do not become blinded with pride due to education, wealth, beauty, fame, and good birth, and and do not engage in the search for material sense gratification. But those conditioned souls who are misguided, unfortunate, poverty-stricken, harassed by the three modes of material nature, whose hearts are disturbed by Maya, who 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 proudly identify themselves with material designations and who are blinded by the pride of material possessions, cannot understand the exalted glories of the Vaishnavas. Such people think that since the devotees of Vishnu are not blinded like themselves by pride based on material objects, they are foolish. Since they think in this way, they do not respect Vaishnavas, but rather consider them inferior. Although there is no possibility of fault in their pure spiritual propensities, since they are intoxicated by the pride of material designations and ignorance, they are full of faults. Actually, those pathetic persons have no fault. The only fault is that their intelligence is impure. So very clearly here, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, they may have pure spiritual propensities, all these things they may have, but they have the tendency of showing the pride in their material designations. Is actually ignorance. Because of that, offensive attitude develops. Bhagavata padiya okaro buddhinasha nityananda ninda kore aibeka nasha. Even after studying Srimad Bhagavatam, one's intelligence may be ruined. For anyone who blasphemes Nityananda is certainly vanquished. So see, very clearly it has been said here, even after studying Bhagavatam, even after hearing Bhagavatam, if one blasphemes Nityananda, Balarama, who are Adi Guru, so if one blasphemes the spiritual master, what will happen? All the intelligence will be ruined. Rather than discuss Srimad Bhagavatam under the guidance of Sri Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnavas, many people with the desire to increase their pride by enhancing their knowledge, wealth, beauty, fame, good birth, discuss Srimad Bhagavatam with mad persons and cultivate enmity for devotional service. Being bereft of the shelter of Sri Nityananda Swarupa, such persons lose the service of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and disrespect the Vaishnava Guru. As a result, their absence of devotion is revealed, and they proudly pose as instructors of Vaishnavas because they have no vision that the Supreme Lord is situated within all living entities. They see the entire world is full of miseries. In order to nourish their pride, they enviously embrace many non devotional activities, such as considering themselves as instructors of the devotees and pretending to give initiation as initiating gurus. But if they study Bhagavatam under a Vaishnava Guru, then out of natural humility, they realize themselves as lower than the straw in the street, and they will become qualified to study and teach Bhagavatam. living entities, living entities who have received even a tiny merciful glance of Sri Chaitanya see the entire world as full of eternal happiness. It is impossible for persons expert in material knowledge to teach Srimad Bhagavatam unless they are eternal servants of the Vaishnavas. People under the shelter of material knowledge proudly consider themselves teachers of Srimad Bhagavatam rather than becoming servants of the Bhagavatas. They consider themselves masters of the Bhagavatas in order to fill their bellies, considering their business as dharma. They accept various non-devotional activities as following in the footsteps of Nityananda, but in every respect, this is blasphemy of Nityananda. There are many festivals happen. In the festival, when the festival is there are many people who celebrate this festival, Janmashtami. Local people also celebrate. But we should be very careful. Don't consider all celebration to be the same. Very clearly it has been said. If we do not follow the footsteps of Nityananda and we do not follow the Guru Shishya Parampara, we will be doomed because on the pretext of celebrating festivals, people just accumulate money for their sense gratification. You may say, even we are also accumulating money. Yes, we accumulate money and it goes in a proper way to the various projects which is related to the temple. It is not for filling the belly. There's a lot of difference. Sense gratification is happening. On the name of the festivals, there is no knowledge being given. Just people come, enjoy, have some kitty party over there, some parties over there on the name of prasad. There is no prasad, nothing. There's only some parties which are going on, and some people out of some bhava offer, but they are not been taught. This knowledge comes from Guru only. It cannot be done by anyone alone. It has to be cultivated. Knowledge is not just I do whatever I want. There are many societies which are celebrating, but that is not actually the festival. It has to be done under the guidance of a sampradaya. There are so many speakers of Bhagavatam, and they may have many crowd also. They may have 10,000 people attending their Bhagavat Katha. But are they coming from sampradaya? That is most important. Most important is how many of the Bhagavata speakers are coming from the sampradaya. Here the focus has been given on studying Bhagavatam under a sampradaya. Not just get carried away by seeing some crowd of some spiritual gurus. They may call themselves spiritual gurus, but there may be many, many motives. They should take guidance from the sampradaya and belong to the sampradaya and then speak. Is very, very important. They can come from any of the four sampradayas. Here the emphasis has been given on Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took initiation from Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. The emphasis has been given because we all belong from this Sampradaya. But that doesn't mean that we are reducing the importance of other Sampradayas. Sampradayas are the authoritative means to understand the knowledge. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met all the spiritual gurus, contemporary gurus like Shripad, Ramanujacharya, then Madhvacharya, Nimbarkacharya, Vishnu Swami. All the gurus met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they are all encouraged and blessed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Their visit to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the meeting of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has been very clearly described in Navadip Mahatmya book. Sridhar Pailavara Kariyastavana Ihaye Ishune Tare Mile Premadhana. Anyone who hears the prayers of Sridhar and the benediction he received from the Lord will obtain the wealth of prema or love of God. Godhead, love of Godhead. Krishna Bhakti Haya Prabhu Charana Aravinde Sei Krishna Paya Ye Vaishnavanahi Ninde. One who does not blaspheme the Vaishnavas attain Krishna by developing love and devotion at his lotus feet. One who does not blaspheme the Vaishnava devotee, who accepts a Vaishnava as his spiritual master, who remains far away from so-called gurus that are devoid of devotion to Vishnu and are gurus in name only, who does not glorify the abominable activities of such so-called gurus, and who, with a desire to benefit the entire world, broadcasts the insignificance of such person's activities. Such a person attains pure devotional service at the lotus feet of Shri Mahaprabhu. And by the mercy of Shri Gaura Nityananda, he attains the lotus feet of Shri Krishna. So one has to broadcast the insignificance of such persons' activities. One should not just have some social behavior. I should be nice with everyone. Then only I can be called as devotee. No. If we do not stop such wrong things happening, and at least we cannot even understand that they are wrong and try to justify some others' wrong activities by giving some social judgment, then actually such devotees are not devotees. Simple. They don't attain the mercy of the pure devotional service at the lotus feet of Sri Mahaprabhu. Do not encourage wrong things which is happening in the societies. If we cannot teach, at least we should be away from such things. In many places, Dahi Handi festivals are happening. On the name of Dahi Handi, how many really are really remembering Krishna and his glories? They just come, do some banging of the drums, and then they play some music, they tie some money. In this way, it is only sense gratification, no glorification of Krishna, no love for Krishna. How many of them really offer to Krishna and have prasad every day? Ask them. How many are really understanding that Krishna is a person? This Dahi Handi festival has become a humbug in the whole society. The politicians, everyone, and then the boys who come, Govinda, Govindala, Govindala, and afterwards at night they drink. Is this the activity which Krishna has told to do? When Krishna breaks the pot, that is transcendental pastime which we cannot imitate. We can do it in a small way and glorify Krishna's activities there, but not that do it in public. And some people who are not at all Krishna conscious, Krishna consciousness means every day getting up early in the morning, chanting the holy round, Not eating anything which is not offered to Krishna. Simple. Doing all the morning programs which has been prescribed by the spiritual master. If this is not done, any other thing on the name of festivals is just a sense gratification. One should be bold enough to accept also and speak also. Wherever possible, speak and guide to people. Don't try to give upadesh to your spiritual masters only. Sometimes we try to give judgment or analyze the social dealings with one's own guru. Don't do that. Instead of that, guide to the society. The society is degrading, especially the girls and boys, they're mixing and there's degradation. They don't want to get married also. Now there's new trend. They don't want to get married. Just enjoy maja karo. So this is all happening because of wrong celebrations on the name of Durga festival. Durga ji is just kept for the namesake. No one knows the importance of Durga Mata. But Dandiya happens. Every day Dandiya happens. What is happening in Dandiya? Girls and boys, they get attracted to each other. The best of the best dresses, the best of the best way to show your body. All these things are happening on the names of the festival. You may say, at least something they're doing. No, nonsense. They're doing nonsense. Better is they don't do anything. Which Hindu girl is putting tikka in her forehead? Even that is also not encouraged nowadays. On the name of schools, they are not allowed to put bindi. Then what is the difference between a Hindu girl and a Muslim girl? At least a Muslim girl is putting burqa. This Hindu girl is putting pant and shirt and t-shirts and coming to the temple. Why all these things are happening? Just because the parents are not very strict. The society is encouraging such type of humbug behavior. Nindaya nahikakarya sabe papa labha sabe papa labha ete kana kare ainda maha bhaga. There is no gain in the act of blasphemy. One simply incurs sin. Therefore, the most fortunate persons do not engage in blasphemy. So, blaspheming the spiritual path, the most important path is the path which has been given by our acharyas. And somebody blasphemes the ones who are really walking on the spiritual path, having a criticizing tendency, then he is only incurring sin. The most fortunate Vaishnavas glorify the devotional service of Vishnu. They never blaspheme devotional service. One should understand that devotional service should be appreciated, not that have some materialistic views on it. All the cheating, two-tongued, duplicitous people, persons who deceive people by defining the renunciation of non-devotional activities as ninda or blasphemy are maddened by sinful activities. See here, two-tongued has been spoken. What is this two-tongued? Outwardly showing to be very humble, but inside having nindaniya attitude or blaspheming attitude, criticizing attitude. They are known as two-tongued. They have no taste for devotional service like jiva daya or compassion on the living entities. It is sinful to consider the activities by which people can attain the freedom from non-devotional life as blasphemy. It is sinful to consider the activities by which people can attain freedom from non-devotional life as blasphemy. Since such sinful persons glorify sinful activities, they end up blaspheming Vaishnavas. So what they try to do, they will not blaspheme the wrong things. They will try to show that they are very, very friendly in the society. Everybody respects them. They have a lot of friends. They all can go for parties, picnics. But they try to be very good in the society. What will happen? The result is given. They will land up in blaspheming the activities of pure Vaishnavas. Therefore, pure Vaishnavas do not blaspheme Vaishnavas. They are not sinful. Those who advertise themselves as Vaishnavas are so-called Vaishnavas. Therefore, they are unfortunate and sinful. Don't try to show bhakti. Bhakti should be within. respecting one's own spiritual master, having faith on the activities of spiritual master. That is the real Vaishnava quality. If a person tries to show off devotion, generally people take the Japmala around. I have never seen my Guru Maharaj chanting in the public. No. He does his prescribed rounds when it has to be done. He doesn't show off devotion. My Shiksha Guru also doesn't show off devotion. Not that go on rotating the mala when you are in the public, trying to show that you are very, very great Vaishnava. And in between talking also. In between having some phone calls also. So this is actually, while the concentration in chanting is not there. Such type of chanting has not been prescribed in the Shastras. Chanting means one's complete love for Krishna. It is not a show off. Chanting is drinking mother's milk. So when a mother feeds a baby, she doesn't feed in the public. She feeds the baby when she's alone or when she's among confidential people. So chanting is also done along with the devotees. Kusum, mute your phone. Kusum, mute your phone. Gautam, mute Kusum's phone. Yeah. So chanting is not done when people are talking. And the material, when you go out for the market, if you are not disturbed by anyone, you can chant. But again, that is not called as a prescribed round. Okay, instead of doing something, you're doing. But when you're mixing with the people, when you're talking to them, at that time, don't chant. When you chant at that time, what is happening? You are not attentive while chanting. And others also take chanting very lightly. You are not showing the acharati, yadada achariti shreshtas. One has to show an example. And people also think, okay, chanting means you can just take it anywhere and chant. Chanting can be done while driving. Chanting can be done anytime. It doesn't work because your concentration is not in chanting. Simple. And then you attend the phone calls also. So that is not called chanting. You may do it, but again, that is not chanting. Because of that, offensive attitude develops. We don't know how it starts. How it starts slowly. We may be very sophisticated from outside. From inside, we may have criticizing mentality. So we have to improve ourselves. That is why very important is attentive chanting. Complete the prescribed rounds alone. Don't talk at that time. If you want to do more rounds, again, try to do where you are not disturbed. Aninduka haye sakruta Krishna bale satya satya Krishna tari udharive hele. Krishna will certainly deliver anyone who chants his name without offense or blasphemy. If one offenselessly chants the holy names of Krishna even once without committing Vaishnava prad or blaspheming the saintly persons, then he will easily obtain the mercy of Krishna and freedom from mundane ignorance. It is impossible for a person to serve a Vaishnava without engaging in the service of Shri Gaur Nityananda. Tomorrow is Balram Jayanti. So here here the emphasis is given on getting mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, who is Balaram himself. Balaram gives bala and bliss in serving Lord Krishna. That is why Nityananda Prabhu, who is Adi Guru, Balaram, who is Adi Guru, they can only give us devotion. So let us enthusiastically take part in tomorrow's festival. Vaishnavera Pai Muraye Namaskara. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Hauka Prana Mora. I offer my respectful obeisances at the feet of the Vaishnavas. Let Shri Chaitanya Nityananda be my life and soul. So what is the most important advantage of taking shelter of Nityananda Prabhu? Only he can pacify Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in not giving punishment for our criticizing tendencies. We know the story of Jagai Madai. Even though they were very offensive, but it is Nityanand who pleaded to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be not very strict in giving punishment to them. So he asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to bestow mercy even on those who were having such criticizing attitude. So that is the advantage of taking shelter of Balaram, who has appeared as Nityananda Prabhu. So tomorrow we will be doing the pastimes of Balaram. How Balaram, he killed many of the demons. He taught pure devotional service. So that will be tomorrow. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Chanda Jana Vrindavana Dasa Chatachu Pade Yogi Gana. Accepting Shri Chaitanya Nityananda as my life and soul, I Vrindavan Das. Sing the glories of their lotus feet. Thus ends the English translation of the Gaudiya Bhashya commentary on Shri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhya Khanda, chapter 9, entitled The Lord's 21-hour ecstasy and descriptions of Sridhar and other devotees' characteristics. So, expecting everyone tomorrow at Jagannath Devasthanam. If possible, we can do Zoom for those who are unable to come from far. Tomorrow morning class, mostly will not be there because a lot of service is there in the temple. So if it is there, then we will be putting, or tomorrow morning class will not be there, evening only class will be there. Any doubts you can ask.
Mataji, even tomorrow Bhakti Vaibhav class is there, Mataji?
No, I have written no Bhakti Vaibhav tomorrow. It will be directly on Saturday morning for the old batch and Saturday evening for the new batch.
Okay, Mataji.
Aruna can put the message in the Bhakti Vaibhav group also. New batch, that is first canto will be in the evening. That is 6 to 7:30 p.m. And second canto will be morning 8:30 to 9:30. 9:30, 10 o'clock. No doubts. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Madhavi.
Yes.
Not related to today's class, but what is the significance of Raksha Bandhan in terms of spirituality? If you can explain.
Raksha Bandhan is a created festival again. There is this Muslim invasion is to happen in the Rajasthan areas, Marwad areas. At that time, these ladies, they used to remove some resham dhaga and used to tie these Muslim soldiers so that they will not be raped. But if you see, it is not having any Vedic significance because your brother is not going to protect you. He himself is in a drowning state. Your real brother is Krishna. In that, Draupadi tying a cloth she tears from her sari and ties to Krishna when his hand is little wounded. That they have taken it as, oh yes, Draupadi has tied Krishna. She has tied to Krishna. So only protector is Balaram. That is why Balaram Jayanti is celebrated, and that day Pavitra Upadesh, Pavitram is changed. That means your Janav is changed. Narali Purnima also they call. The Samudra is worshipped with Nariyal Bhat. Because these fishermen, they get a lot of fish from there. Again, this has nothing to do with spiritualism. Here and there, people do some celebration. But it has nothing to do with spiritualism. What is there in sister tying Rakhi to brother? Will that brother be really protective? He himself is not in protection then. He is not chanting anything. So better is all of us chant and accept Krishna as our brother, as our father, as our lover, as our friend, as our master. Krishna and Balaram, both. But this is a wonderful festival. Why? Because it is pleasing the heart. The girls like to go and tie brothers. Some love is there. But then what is the real duty of brother? To chant also, to show Krishna consciousness to the sister. Then he can call himself a brother. Okay.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I had no brother, but when I used to see all time Rakhi, and I used to think why I don't have brother. Then once in Jagannath Puri, I gave Rakhi to Jagannath, Lord Jagannath. When that time they were very new. New means what? Just new people in Krishna consciousness. I tied the Rakhi to Jagannath, and Jagannath himself has come here. So I was not knowing all these things that Jagannath is going to come here. You accept Lord as your brother, father, everything. That is enough.
Mataji, maybe we can ask all the kids to bring some flower or something for Jagannath tomorrow. Make an
Yes,
offering.
yes. Subrata is going to tie Rakhi to all the Gurukul boys also. And she's going to tie Rakhi to Balaram and Jagannath. All kids should actually bring Rakhi to Lord. To Lord, flowers to Lord. That is celebration, not only kids, even elders also. They can bring Rakhi. And your Rakhi is very attractive. I used to like this festival. It's a very attractive festival.
Happy Balram Purnima.
Balaram Purnima is tomorrow. Tomorrow is Balaram Purnima, Balaram Jayanti. You can start worshipping from today. You want to chant? Babu? Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. You have Jagannath, Baladev, Nityananda, Gaurchandra. So you have four Rakis to tie. Hari Bol.
Yeah, got 4 Rakis.
Yes. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Nair Manjari. Thank you.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Nainu.
Hari Bol.
Haribo. Haribo.
Krishna Pranam.